This is Joe and Sharon Culverwell. Joe is a doctor, Sharon's a housewife. Mrs. Culverwell, will you please say goodbye to your husband? This is Bill Junkin and his wife, Janet. Bill's with Hertz Rent-A-Car, Janet's a housewife. Mr. Junkin, it's farewell time. Dave Trainer is a law student. Judy Trainer is a medical secretary. So, Mrs. Trainer, off you go. Maury and Lorna Joseph have been married 7 years. Maury makes children's clothes. Lorna is a housewife. Mr. Joseph, please join the other three off stage. The rest of you stay right there as we play It Had to Be You. And here's your host, Ed McMahon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It Had to Be You is a game of personal association played with married couples. Now, you've met the players, so I think we can begin. Know that your husbands and wives are all backstage. They can hear nothing that we say out here. When they come back out, they'll try to pick you out on the basis of your response to certain words. So I give you a word, try to respond with a strong personal association. So strong that they'll be positive that it had to be you that said that, and only you. That no one else in the whole wide world would have said it any other way but that. Now, that's the response. I'll give you the first word in just a second. Then I'll accept the responses of the first three people that raised their hands. And you must respond with one or two words, and they cannot be capitalized. No proper names or titles or anything like that, okay? Now, here's the very first word, legs. L-E-G-S. I have two responses quickly. Mrs. Joseph.
My husband, let's see, long legs.
Long legs,
yeah.
All right. He likes long legs, is that what you're...
Yes.
Well, explain it. What?
He just likes ladies with long legs.
Do you have long legs?
No.
I'm sorry I mentioned it in a way.
I kind of am too, really.
All right, but he will know that. When he hears long legs, he'll know you said it.
I hope so.
Okay. And number two is Mrs. Junkin.
Bill, that's the first thing he'll say in a girl.
Well, how do you want to... You want to say first look? How do you want to say it?
He'll recognize it if I say fetish 4.
Fetish 4. He'll know. All right. I hope you're hooked on the same fetish. All right, fetish 4 is your answer. All right. All right. Mr. Trainer, you're the third to raise your hand.
I want to say Lambert legs.
Lambert legs, please explain.
Well, Lambert legs is...
Now, Lambert, is you using as a title a kind of like the Lambert walk or something?
The phrase is used because of a movie that we saw with Paul Ford, and it had a shot in the movie where he was in his shorts with a very long pair of socks. And my wife got a great big kick out of it, so every time I'm in my shorts, she says, there's Lambert legs, so I guess you'll know that.
I just wonder, I can't understand the word Lambert. Is that a proper name of Lambert? Is it a title of some town?
No, it's just a phrase that we've used for about the last 6 months to describe my legs.
We won't capitalize it then. It's a small L, Lambert legs, friends. I don't understand it, but maybe she will when she comes out. All right, you've heard the responses to our first word. We'll go to the next one in just a moment, but first, you want to know what's so good about Fritos corn chips? Well, taste them for one thing, and just watch. Legs was our first word. We have Lambert legs, long legs, and fetish legs. Okay. Let's see how you do with our second word. Remember, we want personal associations. Wedding is the word. Wedding. I think, Mr. Trainer, you were first.
Blizzard. It's kind of a common description, but ours was, we had one of the two, we were married in one of the two very bad blizzards last year. And we remember it because most
of... Is that by choice, or...
No, this is the blizzard we had at the wedding ceremony. Uh-huh. And she'll remember that.
She'll remember that. Okay, did she wear a bridal gown?
Yes, she did.
A long length, I mean a full length is what I meant to say. She had to go out inside the snow. And
yes, she always wanted to have snow so it would be a good backdrop for her pictures at the wedding.
So she had it and you went overboard.
So we arranged it.
Blizzard will be an identifying word. All right. I have, is it Dr. Culverwell? Yes, sir. Doctor?
Let's say Met Laundromat. My wife and I met in a laundromat in California. A friend of mine went I was in the service, and blew up some duds, and I sent him out for change, and I got talking to her, and that's where it all started.
What were you doing there doing? You were washing?
I was there washing.
I see. You figured if he washes now, maybe he'll wash later. So that'd be nice. All right, we'll put down laundromat. Met laundromat for your phrase. I think Mrs. Junkin, you were next.
Camp scene.
Camp scene?
We had this giant wedding party. We had about 500 people. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. They were all in it, and Bill's whole family was in it, and we had 10 ushers, and camp scene.
You call it camp because of its great size.
Yeah.
It looked like a camping party.
The pictures of the whole wedding party look like Camp Run Amok, you know?
If Camp Run Amok was not a proper name, I'd let you use that. But we settled for camp scene. All right, we'll hear what that is in just a moment. Now your third word. I want responses to the third word is snack. S-N-A-C-K, snack. Yes, sir. All right, the doctor's first with his hand raised. Yes, sir.
My wife likes to eat something at bedtime. So it's usually saltines and milk, or, you know.
She doesn't eat saltines inside the bed. Really?
Well, no. Not that far.
Oh, the worst thing of all, the saltine crackers in bed are just not right.
The response, will make it bedtime.
Bedtime. All right, snack bedtime. We'll accept that. I think you were second, Mrs. Junkin.
Slap hands.
Slap hands? Why does that have anything to do with snack?
Due to my condition.
Yes.
I eat so much. And I like snacks all the time. And Bill has to slap my hand.
Whenever you reach out to a cookie or a cracker, he hits you on the hand. All right, slap hands. That certainly is a personal association. All right, Mr. Trainer.
Peanut butter toast.
Oh, you're kidding me. Peanut butter toast? Explain that.
Well, I'm only allowed 2 words, so I have toast with peanut butter on it, and she'll get it because that's what she likes for snacks.
Well, we're going to call peanut butter can be 1 word. Can we call peanut butter 1 word? Johnny Olson, can we call peanut butter 1 word? We're calling peanut butter 1 word.
1 word.
Peanut butter toast, we'll accept. Okay, that's your response.
Thanks,
we'll get back to the folks in a minute. We'll invite them out and see how they identify your responses and see if the husbands and wives can find out who said what out here. We're going to do that. We'll bring it back on stage now. But here's a word that every woman likes to hear because it's from her hero. You know who that is? The White Knight. All of our players are back on stage now, and let me tell you that we're starting you off each with $50 per couple. And at the end of the game, the winner's score will be doubled. Everybody else gets whatever is in his or her account at that time. Now, the first word we asked for was the word legs. I'll give you the responses in just a moment. If it sounds like something that your husband or wife probably said, then raise your hand. If you're right, you'll get $30. However, if you're wrong, we'll deduct $10 from your score. Okay? Legs was the first word, and we got this response. Long legs. Somebody said long. Wow, you're very fast, Mr. Joseph. Why did you say that?
I like long legs.
I'm not supposed to help you, but in your wife's interest, you married her because she was so overwhelmingly lovely that you didn't even think about it. Is that right, sir? Say yes, right.
Yes.
That's right. You are absolutely right. We're going to add $30 to your score. Very good. We said legs. Somebody said fetish for. Who said fetish for? Long, short, or any kind. All right, Mr. Junkin, why?
Well, I'm a leg man. No 2 ways about it. I'm a leg man, long, short. Long as they're nice.
All right, sir. All right, you're absolutely right. Let's add $30 to your score. Somebody said to a response, Lambert legs. Why is that, Mrs. Trainer?
Snobby knees, you know.
Do you know, what does Lambert mean to you? We couldn't understand what it meant. What is the word
We
Lambert?
saw a movie, and this man he was
His name was Lambert Legs, because he had knobby knees and...
I see. We really shouldn't have accepted that as a...
I call Dave Lambert Legs.
You call him Lambert Legs. Well, it's so personal to you, I think we'll have to accept it. And you're right, we'll add $30 to your score. All right, that's the first word. Here's the second word, wedding. This was a response. Blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mrs. Trainer, why?
We got married last January. It took us so long to get to our honeymoon, you know. It was snowing.
It was a bad blizzard?
Yes.
But I understand you wanted snow for your wedding
I did,
picture.
yes, very much.
And did you get them?
Yes.
Did they come out right?
That's beautiful.
Did they? How about the snow in front of the people? That didn't bother you at all? All right, you're exactly right. Let's add $30 to your score. When I said wedding, somebody said Met Laundromat. Met Laundromat. Yes, Mrs. Caldwell.
Well, we lead really exciting lives. We met in a laundromat. I asked him for change. He sent his buddy.
And what did he do in the meantime?
Well, my mother was there.
Oh. Can't tell you how sorry I am about that. You're absolutely right, Mrs. Caldwell. Let's add $30 to your score. I said wedding. Somebody said camp scene. Camp scene.
Definitely.
Why does that apply to you, Mr. Johnson?
Well, it started off with about 2 or 3 bridesmaids and ushers, and it grew to, I think it was 10. 10 or 11 bridesmaids and 10 or 11 ushers. And the picture looked like Camp Winnemucca.
Runnemucca. You're right. Let's add $30. You did handsomely on the word wedding. Now let's go to our third word, snack. S-N-A-C-K. Someone said bedtime. Bedtime snack. Who's guilty? All right, Mrs. Caldwell. Tell us about it.
I'm just very guilty.
Why?
I love bedtime snacks.
What's your favorite?
Scrambled egg sandwiches?
Scrambled egg sandwiches? I thought you were fond of saltines and milk.
That's not at bedtime. That's when I watch television.
See that, Doctor? I've been saying scrambled eggs sandwiches at the end of the day. You're right, Mrs. Caldwell. Let's add $30 to your score. We're counting peanut butter as one word, and we have peanut butter toast. Peanut butter toast. All right, Mrs. Trainer.
We have cocoa and toast. We can go to bed.
Cocoa?
He makes the peanut butter toast.
How do you make peanut butter toast? Anything
Toast
special I should
butter
know?
and peanut butter. Chunky.
Chunky? Well, that's the only kind I'm going to have from now on. You're right. Let's add $30 to the score. I said snack. Somebody said slap hands. All right, Mr. Junkin. Why is that?
Well, I like a snack every now and then, and Janet's on a weight-reducing program. And she's included me into this thing, and so I can no longer snack. She says I'm
Well, what does she do? She actually slaps your hands when you try to get some extra snacks?
Yeah, she does. She really
She does, huh? Well, that's interesting, but it's wrong in this instance because she said that you were slapping her hands to help her. So I'm sorry you have a wrong answer. We have to subtract $10 from your score. Listen, Mrs. Junkin, lean over and slap his hand, will you? Not his face, Mrs. Junkin, just his hand. All right. That's the end of the very first round. Let's take a look at the scores. We have the trainers ahead with $140. Very good. We'll be back for the next round of It Had to Be You in just a moment. But you know it's nice when you receive a present, especially when it's something that is homemade, as it was in this case. And now for our next round, I'm going to ask all the players to change places. You folks in the back row, would you please go off stage where you won't be able to hear us? The folks in the front row, please move to the back row. We're playing It Had to Be You with your host, Ed McMahon, and we'll be back in just a moment. Let's see what happens when sweet old Aunt Tilly tries to eat just one delicious potato chip. We have completely changed places now. We've moved the folks from the front row to the back row. Now it's your turn to see if you can identify with a very personal response that it had to be you and nobody else but you. The first word I want 3 responses for is the word pajamas. Pajamas. Let's see, I think Mrs. Culverwell, you were first. Pajamas.
Red paisley.
Red paisley?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any like that. They must be very attractive.
Well, I only saw them once.
And did you buy them?
No,
Where'd you see them?
on our honeymoon. It came off all over the sheet.
Tell me about that again, please. The design of the paisley was probably improperly imprinted into the material.
You know how red is.
Yes, I do, Mrs. Culverwell. Well, we'll write that down for you, red paisley. And I guess the doctor will understand that. All right, Mr. Junkin, you were second.
Well, I'm going to say yellow silk because I wore them one night, the first night of our honeymoon.
Yellow silk.
Yeah, and...
I bet you look great in them.
And they've been hidden away. I wear them every now.
Every once in a while, special occasion. All right, we'll put that down. Yellow silk for you. I think, Mr. Joseph, you were third to respond.
I'm going to say awful flannel, but after their stories, it's not going to be much.
Something to be desired, doesn't it? But tell us about it anyway.
Well, she wears them. Embarrassing though it is,
She wears what? Awful flannel?
Pajamas.
What color are they?
Now, they're kind of faded out colors, you know.
Well, I heard that pajamas will just kind of fade away. I've heard that. Yes. All right, we'll write down for your response, awful flannel. And then I want to see when your wife picks out that you said that. All right, that's the first word. Here's the second word, perfume. Very romantic word. You're first, Mrs. Trainer, perfume. What is your...
Powder puff.
Powder puff. Now, please explain that.
Every time I put on some perfume on my face, he calls me powder puff and fluffy cheeks. Powder puff here.
I see. Would you rather change it to fluffy cheeks, or do you want to... Fluffy cheeks. You'd like to change it?
Yes.
All right, make that change. We'll record then fluffy cheeks as your response. Mrs. Culverwell.
Need more.
Need more perfume. How much perfume do you think a woman should have?
Well, I only have one little tiny bottle like that. When it gets empty, he'll buy me another little tiny bottle. And my little tiny bottle's almost empty.
Oh.
So I need more.
You want a nice hint, right? Need more. You're using our program. You're using our program for a shoddy practice to try to get your husband to buy you more perfume. We'll put it down. Need more. What was the third one? I think Mr. Joseph again.
Rarely uses. My wife rarely uses perfume.
She doesn't like it, or you don't like it, or what's the reason?
Maybe it's because, like Dr. Culverwell, I never buy her any. And maybe she just doesn't have much.
All right, well, we'll put down rarely uses, and we'll find out the reason a little later on. Our third word is morning. Morning. Okay, I think Mr. Junkin, you were first.
I'll say immediate shower because if I don't get a shower right away, I'm asleep until I hit the shower. And Janet compensates for that. She kind of guides me into the bathroom. And,
Is there anything you do late at night? You don't look like a carouser to me, a fellow that stays out late.
No, as a matter of fact, I usually watch the Johnny Carson show.
Well, thank you for that. So we're very happy to hear that. All right, have your shower then early in the morning, so we'll put down immediate shower. You were next, Mrs. Culverwell.
Very early.
Very early.
Yeah, well, we have a contest. See, we have these children, and each one of them has a contest to see which one can be up earlier than the other. And then my husband has to be up earlier than them, and I don't like to be up early, but I have to be up early because I have to feed them all.
Start the whole thing.
So it all starts out very early.
Well, what would you say? What's your idea of very early?
About 5:30.
That's very early.
He has to be
Okay.
at the house by 6.
Yeah, we'll write down very early. That is early. Who was the third? Mr. Joseph again.
Yeah, wrong beds. In our house, you can be sure that in the morning, most of us are in the wrong bed from where we started.
Well, I wonder if you'd like to explain that.
I mean our children who
Yes.
have a habit now of finding their way into my bed or
Yes.
my wife's bed.
Yeah, oh, I know what you're saying.
Sure she'll get
Yeah, that's, I think, a common practice in homes. Kids love to kind of move around, see what that is. Okay, we'll put down wrong beds for you, and I hope that they get that response. You have the responses to the 3 words. We'll bring the partners back now, and while we do, when a child isn't feeling well, you know, the mother suffers right along with him, just as he does. So listen to this. All right, the rest of our players are back on stage now, and to say the least, we had some unusual responses while you were gone. The first word we asked for was the word pajamas, and someone said yellow silk. Yes, Mrs. Junkin? It's so cute. I can just imagine him in yellow silk pajamas. You're exactly right, Mrs. Junkin. We'll add $30 to your score. All right, how about Red Paisley? Red Paisley. Someone said, yes, yes, doctor. Tell us why.
When we got married, the only pair that I had with me in the service was Red Paisley, and I had a short honeymoon, and that's what I threw in the bag, Red Paisley.
We heard some other stories, but it's we're running a little out of time, so let's just say you're right, and we'll add $30 to the score. I said pajamas, and somebody said awful flannel. Were you raising your hand, Mrs. Joseph?
Yeah.
Tell us about why.
I guess he's referring to my flannel pajamas. I get kind of cold in the wintertime. Did he say that I wear the socks, too?
Do you wear socks, too?
Yeah.
Now, don't tell me you wear one of those little funny hats. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll trade you a picture of him in the yellow silk. You're exactly right. Let's add $30 to this thing. Our second word was the word perfume, and someone responded this way, need more. I said perfume, they said need more. Who's guilty? All right, Mrs. Junkin? I think Miss Junkin's first. Why?
Oh.
Well, tell me why.
They only have one bottle.
Just have one bottle of perfume and you need more.
Let it out of the bank.
Yeah. Is he the one who buys the perfume, or do you buy it yourself?
I sneak down to the drugstore and buy it.
You sneak out to the drugstore and buy it?
Yeah, I just have one bottle because I only like one color.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but you're wrong in this instance. He didn't mention it. We have to subtract $10 from your score. Who in the back row said they needed more perfume? Doctor?
My wife.
That's right. You were second to raise your hand, but not fast enough. You're the one that has to buy another bottle of perfume, I think. You'll have $10 left to do it with. We have $10. Someone else answered when we said perfume, rarely uses. Rarely uses. Does that mean anything to anybody? Yes, Mrs. Joseph.
I guess that's me.
Yes. What?
I don't use it very much.
You don't?
No. I hope he's not trying to tell me something.
I don't know, Mrs. Joseph. Maybe it's why you're so cold during the winter. You're right in this instance, so we're going to add $30 to your score.
Never thought of it that way.
Okay. The last response to perfume was fluffy cheeks. Does that mean... Yes, Mr. Trainer.
Well, I call it fluffy cheeks for everyone she puts on perfume or she uses anything to make herself up. And that's perfume is part of makeup.
Probably like gilding the lily. She's so attractive. Why would you? Anyway.
You use your expressions and I'll use mine.
Well, Listen, that's a fair deal. I think I like fluffy cheeks better. You're right. Let's add $30 to your score. All right, our final word was the word morning, and someone answered very early. When I said morning, they said very early. Who said that? Mrs. Joseph? Why? Everybody almost had their hand up. Why, Mrs. Joseph?
She gets up very early.
How early does she get up?
6 to 6:30. It wasn't him,
Well, why? I didn't say anything yet. I'm waiting to hear from you. Why do you feel it wasn't him?
No, I just heard like a grunt.
Well, you heard right. Because you're wrong. We have to subtract $10. Who was the one complaining about getting up early in the back row? Turn around, Doctor.
We don't really live together. This is all made up.
You are married to one another.
Well, I thought.
All right. I'm sorry, Doctor. But he did have his hand up. In defense of the doctor, he was second to raise his hand. We have to subtract $10. I'm sorry. You weren't fast enough. Someone else, when we mentioned morning, said immediate shower. Immediate shower. Yes, Mrs. Junker.
Bill's incoherent until he has a shower.
That's exactly what he said. And you have to guide him in. Okay, we'll add $30 for your being right. Now, here was a response. I said morning. Someone said wrong beds. Morning, wrong beds. Does that mean anything to anybody? After conscious time, the doctor was about to raise his hand, but who was it that had trouble with the wrong bed in the morning? Turn around, Mrs. Joseph.
The children are in the wrong beds.
Oh, the children.
All right. I'm going to have to subtract $10 from your score.
One word. That's pretty good.
We are going to take a look at the final scores in just a moment, see who's ahead at the final round. You know, in football or in business, any old pro's advice really counts. Watch. Let's have a look now at our score. Dr. Culverwell and his wife, and the flannel lady, or Ty, with 120. Mr. and Mrs. Junkin have $150. Mr. and Mrs. Trainer are our winners. They get $340. Congratulations. It's amazing just what a little perfume will do. All right, we're going to invite you back, Mr. Trainer, tomorrow with your wife, if you promise to behave yourself. And we're going to have 3 other lovely couples for you to meet at that time. Thank you very much for helping us find out that it had to be you. It had to be you. It's a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production. This is Johnny Olson speaking. This program was pre-recorded.